Hey, this is Faye here. I'm reviewing the three logos that were sent to me for the rebrand of Crea Logistics. Um, to start, from what I understand, this logo should be de-emphasizing the idea of the company being purely a logistics company, also less emphasizing anything to do with medical, maybe suggesting uh, that they deal with medical devices, but not that they are a medical company. Uh, in addition, it should be a logo that is open or allows or feels like it's something that can evolve, or then it shows a voice of a company that says they are evolving, that they are moving, and that they have a strong process. With that in mind, the first logo from the start, um, without getting into the brand, two things I noticed were as a monogram, it's not very strong or distinct. It doesn't really project a specific message with the letters alone. Instead, the letters almost seem lost here in this circle, which circles are usually shapes of stability, unity, and attention, kind of like a lens or a telescope. So when you use a circle, whatever's in the center of it really has to speak a specific message. And the only message I kind of get from here, based on this symbol, is medical or heart related um, issues. And the color also makes me think of the Red Cross here. Um, there's not really a lot of contrast used between the letters aside from extending the line of the L here, but that also emphasizes the logistics part of the brand, which is what we want to de emphasize. Uh, there's also, while white space isn't bad, um, there's a lot of it that's kind of underutilized. I mean, this whole space right here outside could be easily filled up way, 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 way more, to kind of almost make the letters part of the circle rather than being in the circle. Um, so one thing that could be done if this was the choice is making the C much larger, maybe here, um, removing this to kind of get away from the whole idea of medical. Um, maybe crossing the L some way with the C to kind of just make it more, also just make it feel more like a monogram. One thing I felt from this one is a separation between the letters. Their only harmony is that they're the same font. Aside from that, they just feel placed next to each other, but they're not together. Uh, moving on to the next one, this one here. Sorry. Um, it's a little confusing, I have to say. From the start, I thought I was just looking at the C, and there was no L. and that there was just a color palette next to it, which somewhat confused me until I stepped back again and then saw the lower half of the L. Um, this one is even less of a monogram than the previous one. Reason is because the C and the L are actually physically separated by this box right here. Um, which utilizing the more square and horizontal lines is not a problem. It's nice to show uh, a logo that is trustworthy by utilizing the sense of lines, but it also has a circle within the square through the C, and that C has a circle that then emphasizes the medical once again. Also, because more attention is brought to the C, when the eyes navigate over to the L, you kind of have this question in your head of why is this here? There doesn't feel a need or purpose for it to be here aside from being, oh, the logistics part, it's there, which I guess that's a good thing that it's not in the mind, it's not emphasized as much, but at the same time it doesn't really comfort the brand aside from utilizing the color palette, which is great. I'm happy that this one does try to utilize the original color palette, but it would be better if these two letters were more integrated with each other instead of being separated from each other, even if we're trying to de-emphasize the logistics part, because we don't it from what I understand, we don't want to completely remove it, but we don't want it to be the focal point. But this one almost completely removes it from the mind, and even without looking at any of these things, just from like a quick glance, I don't know who this business is. I can't understand who they are and what this is saying to me, aside from I see a color palette, there's a C in a box, and a medical cross sign. But that's it. I think I'll the first thing I'll probably think is maybe it's a medical company that does colors. It has confusing messaging overall, and that's why I don't prefer this as the choice. um I guess a way to possibly improve it is if you wanted to use this box and the L, you could use the C and you could have the L creating the box, or even using two L's for the box. There are logos that do this, and it's a pretty abstract and contemporary concept, that is quite fun to see utilized. Um, so I guess you could have the L here, kind of. Sorry for the messiness of the sketch. And then maybe here. And then maybe removing this out of the way. Let's make this larger. That already, honestly, just removing that plus sign in the center kind of already opens up the space more to my eye, and I get to look more outside of it and kind of take a look. But you can still put something here if you want to emphasize something aside from the medical. You could even take um, this. Uh, you could take this gradient color palette here and put it along here and along here for the box if you wanted to continue that idea with the L. Moving to the last one, I will say that this is my most preferred logo of the three. My main reasoning is because from the start, the first thing I see kind of is still this, because my eyes kind of go from left to right instead of zigzag for this one. But I also then see the C, and as I look at the C, my eyes then see the cut and the L. But I see the C first, so I see we are Korea, and we have logistics. So the L is there without overstating its name, which I like. And also this integration with the C and the L feels much more like a true monogram. They feel like a united force working together rather than being separate, which is what you want. You don't want your logo to feel separated, and this one doesn't feel separated. Um, Something else I also love about this is that the brand voice here is strong. It is very strong from the start. The color palette, the gradient it uses all from top to bottom here is strongly emphasized. While it's not the original color palette, it is a color palette that is seen on documents and other print design that we have been using more recently, such as the business cards and the folder. And this font style here and the use and cut of the lines fits very well as a transition from the slanted rectangles to a more monogrammed logo, because it still utilizes uh, that kind of a slant and sharp line here and here, which continues the idea of movement, strength, a dynamic process that can be trusted, which is something I felt from the previous one, but this one, it feels even stronger with that. Let's see. Um, Something I don't understand is the bubbles here. Um, this part, it's it doesn't exactly take away from this part of the logo, but it makes me question again why it's there, similar to the color palettes here. Um, it's it also has that kind of Red Cross medical symbol that we're trying to stay away from. Uh, so I feel like maybe it should be this that we should look at it without this. Actually, let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. So if we move over here, this is what it would look like without the bubbles, which from the start I already like it a bit better. But I can now understand why the bubbles were added, because it feels absent. It feels absent, as if there's something still kind of missing. Because I see the monogram, I like the monogram, I like what it's somewhat saying to me, but it doesn't fully explain the company. Like, I don't off the bat think, oh, this is a company that delivers medical devices. Oh, this is a company that does any service related to tech. Well, okay, I could see it as a technology brand somewhat, but I don't know what type of technology brand. It also kind of looks like a possible design symbol, or even something for game design. It's very up in the air, that it needs something added to it to kind of solidify who and what the company is. So I now understand the purpose of the bubbles, but I don't think maybe changing it from something of a cross symbol to an actual medical device would make more sense. I thought maybe a stethoscope. So there is this idea here. Uh, where it looks like this. This is only a concept idea where it's a silhouette, a soft silhouette in the background, um, to kind of emphasize, yeah, we do medical, but it's more of medical device. When I did try to find medical devices, there aren't many that its silhouette alone would automatically, people might recognize it. Um, the stethoscope was the most common for medical devices. This is, of course, can be changed, but I personally kind of like this concept of having some sort of silhouetted figure in the background. But this is also a logo to be played with. I think it's still the best one to work with and move forward with out of all of them. Uh, but there should definitely be maybe some tests. Maybe ask some people of your target audience um what they get from looking at the logo. That could help. Or research um other company logos that take that look at your target audience and see what they do. If they use monograms, how do they use it? I think that'll also help. But I'm going to go ahead and say this is the star of the show here.